everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Logan. If you've never been here before, as you can see, I'm in my college dorm. Only have a few more weeks here, so but I do a lot of college content, reaction videos. I've been doing a lot of reaction videos lately because Taylor Swift will not give me a break. I've been doing a lot of reaction videos recently, a lot of pop culture videos, and I do videos like this that kind of combined lifestyle content with like a how-to kind of vibe. I don't really know. I don't know what I'm saying. But anyway, thank you for joining me today. I hope you all are staying healthy and getting vaccinated if you so choose to. I got my first dose the other day. Feeling good, feeling great. My arm is not hurting anymore, so that's a plus. But yeah, anyway, for today's video, I'm going to talk to you all about how to combat busy culture, as you can see by the title. So a couple weeks ago, I think it was last weekend actually, I was at a like seminar talk thing with some people from my sorority, and we talked about busy culture. I'm going to have some of the resources that I used for this video as well as the resources that we talked about in the seminar that inspired this video for you all, linked down in the description. The primary resource that inspired this video, and one that I probably would talk about a lot in this video, is a TED Talk by, I believe her name is Sarah Cameron, not Sarah Cameron Outer Banks, no, Sarah Cameron, the life coach. She just did like a TED Talk on it, and I thought it was so helpful, and that's what we watched in the seminar. But that will be linked down below, as well as a few other articles that I came across when I was planning the format of this video. So basically, busy culture, if you were like confused by what I mean by that terminology, is that busy culture is very prevalent in society today, and it's basically the idea of being busy equals being successful, which I think is a very toxic and almost a dangerous way to think about success in life and what we do in our daily lives, and I'm guilty of it. I'm sure many of you are guilty of it. Like, I'm gonna admit it. I put busy with being successful, and I think I do it a little bit less now, but in high school that was my mindset, because if I was busy, then I was going to be successful. And yes, while that is true, it is also not a societal norm that I think we should be talking about, especially in college, because college students are so like we grasp to this idea of that being busy will make us successful, and that is just not the case. But for me personally, I always complain about being too busy, when in retrospect I am putting all of the stuff that I'm doing on my plate myself because I'm passionate about these things, and I just have this like urge to be involved in everything on the planet, and I just can't control myself. I always complain about being busy, but then when I'm not busy, I struggle. Like the beginning of quarantine, I really struggled because I thrive off of productivity and being busy. And so the beginning of quarantine was really hard because the world wasn't doing anything. The world was stopped, right? But I will say that I think quarantine was kind of like the shift in my brain when I kind of started to realize that like, oh, like there's another world out there. There's another world where we don't have to constantly be busting our butts to make it in life. And when I attended this talk last weekend, I realized that there is so much more to life than being busy. So I'm going to kind of break down this TED Talk a little bit. I highly recommend that you watch it because I'm definitely not going to hit all the points. But a big thing that Sarah Cameron talked about in this TED Talk is the idea of white space and how we should schedule white space into our schedules. White space is, at least what I got from it, it's time for yourself, time that is just like scheduled downtime, basically, where it's like you plan the downtime but you don't have anything planned to do during that downtime. But I would say, sorry, I'm getting real comfy sitting here. I would say that last semester I was very like go, and the times that I had downtime, I was like, oh my gosh, I should be doing something. So I would do something. I would do my homework, I would clean, I would always be up. And then this semester, after getting that downtime during winter break and kind of relaxing, and in ways getting back into that like original quarantine kind of mindset, not because I was in quarantine or anything, it was just kind of like I guess, being home again, and the last time I had been home for that long was quarantine. So I started to kind of get back in that mindset, and I was like, why am I taking the downtime that I do have and scheduling something there? Like, shouldn't I be doing the opposite? So this semester I've been taking the weekends to like go to the art museum on campus by myself, and like the past few weekends I have not had time to do that but the beginning of the semester I did. Like taking those like maybe like 1 to 2 hour spans that I have each day during the week to just be with myself. I do that a lot in the morning. During the week I'll wake up early and go to the gym and like take those like 2 to 3 hours before like classes start and before I need to like actually start my day to give myself some white space, where I can just like wake up and do whatever I want, and it's very nice. There's such a stigma attached to not being busy. I think that people think that if you're not constantly doing something that you're lazy, and I really just don't understand that. If this is making any sense, like if I had that downtime scheduled for myself and I prioritize the busyness and the people pleasingness and all of that stuff, then I'm taking away from the idea of combating that busy culture. And I do think that there is like being lazy is definitely a thing, and I think when laziness combats productivity too much, that's when it becomes an issue, because then you're not doing your schoolwork, you're not doing the things for your job that you need to do. But like not being busy does not equal laziness, and like being busy does not equal success. Like you can be doing things that are keeping you busy that aren't helping you in any way, shape, or form, like success wise, you know what I mean? I think personally, if you were trying to combat busy culture, you first need to allow yourself to let go of the stigma that's attached to not being busy. I think it's hard to do it at first when you're surrounded by so many people who are self-starters and who thrive off of being busy. At least in my life, that's how a lot of my friends are. Like, we're just very busy people. And I'm definitely like a super busy person, and I still am, but I'm also being like, if I want to have a day to myself or an hour to myself, people need to be okay with that, and if they're not okay with that, then I need to be okay with that, right? Like, I don't have to constantly be doing something to be happy, or like not constantly doing something, but constantly doing something in the sense of like what society deems as doing something. But like maybe me watching a movie, like why is that not being busy? You know what I mean? If that makes sense. The articles that I read on, I think it was Psychology Today, it'll be linked down below, talks about how it kind of talks about the idea of like laziness and productivity, and it was basically like a study that the writer did and on their own life, and they slowed down their life without taking away from productivity, because I think productivity and busyness are there's a fine line between them. They took away that super busy schedule and realized that they can still be productive while having time slow down. And I think that quarantine, at least in my life, was a very good example of that, because time slowed down and I had more to do with my day, but I was still being productive. And it wasn't busyness, but it was productivity. And I think going in the mindset of productivity versus busyness is really important, and it's a good way to combat busy culture. Success is also subjective, so putting busy with success is also wrong, because success is subjective. Being a college student, busyness is something that just naturally happens, but if you want to combat the culture that surrounds that and the toxicity that surrounds that, you need to schedule in that white space and not compromise that white space for anything. I just think that this video was something that I wanted to talk about, because when I was talking about it last week, I knew that it was a lot of things, it was a thing that a lot of people struggled with, and kind of you get caught up in it because it's just part of our society. Being busy is what our society is, and there is definitely a stigma attached to it. So I just wanted to make this video to kind of like show you ways to kind of find that white space and chill, and there will definitely be some resources linked down below if you want to read more into it. But yeah, to all of my college students out there, I know it's a busy time. so ironic. It's a busy time, but remember, even during finals, to schedule time in for yourself to relax and to regroup and to recharge and all that fun stuff. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Oh my gosh, it's almost summertime. Bye, have a great day.